Welcome to Holberton Coding School, Puerto Rico Demo Day. Welcome again y bienvenidos a todos. Thank you so much for being here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, in Santurce, on our campus. For those who don't know Holberton Coding School, we are a 9-month intensive coding boot camp based here in Puerto Rico with campuses in San Juan, Aguadilla, and Ponce. We have an exciting show for you today with 8 of our graduates presenting their final projects. So I want to first give it up to the 8 folks who are presenting today, putting everything on the line and showing you what their technical skills are, and 3 months of dedication to their final projects has come down to. Lots of preparation, and I want to thank you all for preparing so hard and for presenting today. So round of applause for our graduates. I also want to thank everyone here, our hiring partners locally and tuning in on our live stream today. Thank you so much for being here on campus and taking time out of your workday. We know how important it is to, especially on Fridays, to get the work done for timelines, and we really appreciate you being here to network with our graduates and hopefully recruit them. Yes. Now, whether you have an open position on your development team today, next month, later this year, we're really happy to have you, and the opportunity for our grads to speak with you today and network is just amazing. So we really appreciate your time, and we're excited for you to check out their projects. My next thank you is to the Holberton team, everyone who makes this day possible, and frankly, the whole 9-month program possible. Starting with our campus director, Mercedes Diaz. Our marketing and admissions manager, Jandres Zapata. Our admissions counselor, Francis Santiago, who checked you in today. For those on the live stream, you'll meet Francis following the presentations. She will be presenting you individually to the grads, and you'll be able to meet with them and Francis during that time. Next, I want to give a huge shout of appreciation to our lead software engineer, Sean Cardona. And Sean leads the education here at Holberton Coding School, Puerto Rico for all 3 campuses. He also leads a team of mentors who I also want to thank, who spend countless hours mentoring our students throughout their 9-month process here at Holberton. It's intense, am I right? So thank you very much to everyone involved and to our volunteer students here who are helping us today to make this a success. All right, so I mentioned the 8 graduates who will be presenting today. So we have projects from financial technology, website monitoring, events, if you like to salsa. I'm not going to dance right here, but I'm sure Abraham will tell you what to do, and a sports management app as well. For any questions about hiring our graduates, please reach out to me. I'm Ellen Calabrese, Student Success Manager at Holberton Coding School, Puerto Rico. I run the Career Services team, and I'm happy to connect you with any of our graduates from this cohort and the folks before as well. All right, so let's get this show on the road. Before we get started with the presentations, I'd like to introduce one of our graduates, Aramis Martinez. Aramis is a Foundations graduate from last July. So if you were here at Demo Day in July, you might have met Aramis as he was presenting his final project. He's also in our specialization program. So our specialization program is an additional 9-month intensive boot camp that our Foundations grads can enroll in. And Aramis will be our MC and introducing each of our teams. So thank you, Aramis, and thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoy the projects.
Test, test.
Hello, everybody. Today I'll be your host. Our first project will be Next Results, a volleyball app for the volleyball teams.
Good morning, everyone. We're happy to have you here, and we're going to present net results. Track your team's performance and analyze match statistics. First, let's introduce the team. One moment, please. Hi, I'm Gabriel Rivera, and in this project, I focus on the backend and the database.
Hello, my name is Adrian Santiago, and I'm part of the front-end developer of the Net Results application.
Good morning, I'm Victor Colon. I was also part of the backend and database development.
So, before we answer why net results, let me first ask you some questions. Has anyone here has played a match or a tournament of volleyball before? And has anyone here has seen this paper? This paper is how everyone in the world keeps track of the match, the points, the substitutions, the timeouts, etc. Now, let's do a little story. I'm a volleyball player, and in tournaments, I have seen my coach assistant using this table to keep track of the match. So I thought because this could be better, right? And our solution is net results. This web app has a simple user interface that helps coaches focus on the match while tracking the team performance. And after tracking the team's match, he can see the performance of his players in simple graphs by percentages. Next up, we have the tech stack that we use to build net results.
And for the technologies we use to build net result on the front end, we chose Vue, a framework that can. It was easy to build the front end, and then for the future of the application, it has a capacitor called Ionic that can transform our code into an application for phones or tablet, real easy and quick. And for the language we used to build the application on the front end was JavaScript. And for the static part of the application, we chose Tailwind CSS. On Tailwind CSS, we chose a framework, to build a static part because they have templates that you can import onto the application to build the application quick and easy on the static part. And for the backend, we chose Next.js, and the language we build the backend is TypeScript. And for the database, we use Supabase. Supabase because we needed to build the application quick, the MVP, and they have like a built-in database. And for the object relational mapping, we chose Prisma ORM. And for the process we took to build the application, Victor Colon is going to explain.
All right, so we started back in December doing team stand-ups and team meetups in order to brainstorm what features and what test stack we wanted to use for our net results. Also, through January and March, that's when we started to implement those ideas and making sure we had the minimal viable product completed by its due time. Some challenges that we faced during that time were planning how to make those ideas very user-friendly, so you won't need a master's degree in order to use our app. Also, we had some trouble, not some trouble, but to learn those frameworks that we didn't necessarily chose, we learned here in Holberton, like Vue had a little bit of time to implement those back end with the front end, but quickly resolved that. Also, debugging the objects in Prisma. spent some time on that, but quickly figured it out. For future plans, we decided to add a manager board, a coach board, sorry, which is going to allow the coach to implement and add, games, plays for future references. Now I'll leave you with Adrian so he can give you a live demo.
So we have a video of our demo application. So in this video, Robert, our coach, is going to log into our application. Once he log in, he's going to receive an empty application. So he needs to create a team. You can see. So he goes to the team tab, and then he needs to add his team. Now he's going to put the name of the team, Changos de Naranjito. And then he needs to add the 6 players of the volleyball team. So he's going to add it one by one, Pedro Guzman. And then he needs to add the jersey number so he can track the player. So he's going to add it one by one. Now Ezequiel Sanchez, the jersey number, and we're going to fast forward this part. And then he creates a team. After he creates a team, he's going to be receiving with a team card with a team name and the players. And then now he chose a player to see the statistics, but they haven't played a match. So now they go to the dashboard. He needs to go to the dashboard and create a match. So he's going to confront another team. So he's creating a match with the Chango de Naranjito and the Mets de Guaynabo. And he's entering the name of the opponent team, opposite team. And he's typing it for you on the game name. Then choose the best sets and the season of the game. Now he's been receiving with this dashboard. This is where the application shines because you can add or subtract the point, the score of your team live on both teams. And then you can see the timeouts, track the timeouts, and then all the player actions. You see the players on the bottom. Now he chooses an action of the player does. And if it's a point, it's going to add it automatically to the scoreboard. And if it's a pass and the action, the quality of the action is good or an error, it's going to save it for you to track the player statistics. And now we're going to fast forward to a tie match so you can see the other feature. You can see every volleyball match needs to end on 25 points. But if they're a tie, the set cannot be finished. So you need to be 2 points above the other team to finish the set. So after that, the finished set is laid up. And then now he's going to check the quality of the plays that the players made on the match. You can see it there. And now we're going to fast forward to finish all the 3 sets to see the card you're going to receive after you finish the sets. So you finish the sets, and now you receive a card. This is the game they played. And then you can see the overall points, the sets they won, the sets they lose. And now, since they finish a game, they can keep track of the statistics of the players. So he goes back to the team card, and now he presses the player, and then there's the statistics of the player of that match live. So you saw those tables we showed you before. They're overcomplicated, so now you don't need to have papers. So you can keep track of your team in the moment, live performance, and easy and quick. So this is net results. And thank you for listening to us. This is our LinkedIn codes. If you want to connect with us, feel free. And if you want to try out our application, there's our booth there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and sorry for the technical difficulties.
So that was a unique solution to every volleyball team that should use it. Our next team is Bailame, a salsa app.
Thank you, Abraham. Well, my name is Abraham Vidal. I designed the Bailame app. Here we go. So have you ever wanted to get with a group of friends? You'll agree on a specific time, a specific location. You show up on time, 30, 50 minutes goes by, and then nobody shows up, right? You start looking at your watch, and then after an hour goes by, everybody shows up, and then you feel like you were misinformed, right? You feel a little betrayed. So same thing happened to my sponsor. I have a sponsor. It's called Mr. Haas. He was a prior CEO of a company who moved to Puerto Rico and wanted to embark in a new adventure and just meet with the locals, explore the Puerto Rican culture, just get to know everybody, right? So he thought salsa might be a good way to do so. So he hops on these websites and he wanted to look for events happening. So he goes into these websites and finds a nice event. He gets all ready. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get ready. He gets all dressed up, get his haircut. And when he finally shows up, unfortunately, he finds a single guy just sweeping the floor, right? Imagine his surprise. So he asks the person, when is the salsa event starting? And the person just tells him that there's no salsa event, right? There's nothing happening, and nothing has happened in that location in years, right? So, so he came to us for help, right? He wanted to make sure that we found a solution for this problem. So, and the reason I'm just gonna go off script for a second. The reason why I decided to do this project with him is because I wanted to get a real experience of how is it to do something like a real job, right? Not something like off of my own interest or just like work for somebody who's highly driven as a prior CEO. Just how it feels like to work for somebody else doing a project. So we together we identify that the most of the sites for salsa are very outdated, and not only that, they even though they post every month or every week new events, these events are outdated too. So they kept scraping each other, just the same outdated events, without any data validation or no human confirmation, right? So the solution here I present to my Bailame app. And this is the homepage, right? Because we all need a home. It's very nice, user friendly. We have find events. Immediately navigates you to the events page. You can scroll up and down to get the events happening during the same date, or you can scroll side to side if you want to go past or future events. As you can see, you have everything you need, right? It's just real nice and simple, just the date, the time, location. Some of them have a little more description if it was provided. And also I should provide links. That phone icon is interactive, so you can see here, so you can call the venue, see if it was happening or not. You can just call them up and get more information. Also, the location icon will redirect you to Google Maps, and you get directions to where you want to go, right? Here we have the calendar feature in case you're coming to visit to Puerto Rico, you want to plan ahead, you're a tourist, or maybe you have a free weekend, it's a long weekend, right? We like those. So you can plan your weekend ahead and it will redirect you to or navigate you to the same events page. Also, if you're a promoter, right, or you know of an event that's happening and you don't see it in the app, you can add your own events, right? Here I provided like a little demonstration. Just put your name. You don't have to put a description, but I put just like a little description real quick. On the date, you have the same calendar feature, which is very nice. The time, just put in the time, and a location. That's all you need. I provided a URL for you. If you don't forget, in case, or you don't have a URL, we'll give you a random image. And the other ones are just optional. You hit create event, and on the top you see how you get a notification, and this will update my database immediately. After that, we have the regions page. We all know these regions, but if you're new to the island, right, or maybe you stay in a hotel, and I'm in Isla Verde, and maybe I just feel like walking, or I don't want to take an Uber and taking the scene, then you can get them by region. You see Rio Piedras, Santurces, right, and the same location icons are interacted in the same way. Yes, Eco Sports Bar. I didn't know they had salsa events, but they do, and they have a pretty big one in case you're interested. Okay? All right, so as the full stack developer, this app, as you saw in the video, is cross-platform for both Android and iOS. And this app taught me, as you can see by my attire, most of us work a full-time job while also having to fulfill our obligations with Holberton and also design this app. But this taught me how to micromanage my time, be laser focused, and just get rid of the noise, right? Just get rid of all the distractions. The front end is on React with React Native implementations, right? And why not just React Native, right? It's a mobile app, right? Well, I decided to just do the React with the implementations just because it helped me debug my app in one device, right? Instead of having to plug in my phone and use a USB debug feature, or having to use my resources with a virtual machine and having to do like an emulator for Android. I think it was a lot easier for me just to run my application like that. The front end is also on TypeScript, and my backend was written in Python. Why Django? The backend is on Django because if you use Django before, you know how nice it is. It lays the foundation for your data, for your backend real nice, and integrates very good with PSQL, which I wanted to use, right? We used before plenty of databases, but I wanted to try something new, right, to get more experience on how to do these things. Django also provided nice features like model view set. I don't know if you're familiar with the term, but it just provides a nice way for my CRUD operations like post, get, and all that. Instead of, if I don't know if you used Flask before, but Flask is very meticulous, and this is a lot easier to use. And also PSQLs, in case my app gets really big, scales a lot better than MySQL. Render was real nice to use. This is my first time deploying on anywhere. It was my first time. After that, I got a lot of experience. So, and it's very affordable. It let me test my app free of charge at the beginning, and then after that, it's very affordable. And I wanted to also get more experience on Docker. And it was very nice to see, you know, the deployment commands, start commands, and all that stuff, how to build my images and my containers. First few weeks was just sitting down with my mentor and just planning the app, setting up the structure of it. The following weeks was just implementing the code of what we wanted, making sure that everything worked, iterating, debugging, and more debugging. And the last few weeks was just making sure that the database was fully populated with proper events, right? And just the deployment. Key challenges. I never used Django before. I never used React Native well, React, yes. But I never used this, so it was a lot of learning, a lot of practicing. And thank God for Chrome DevTools because I learned a lot from it, from like console logs, the network issues. First time deployment on render, like I said, your logs, deployment logs, it was very useful for me. Ensuring data was accurate. I almost fell for the same trap as the other websites. We started by scraping the same websites that were providing the wrong information. So by making a lot of calls, I found out that 90% of my events were wrong. So I have to start from zero. But this way, at least I'm making sure that everything was right. And at the end, just making sure that what I understood from my sponsor was what he wanted, right? That communication needed to be clear. And then at the end, I gained a lot of self-dependency. As you see, I'm a one-man team. Became very autonomous. I couldn't ask anybody for help. This taught me how to manage my networks, make sure my ports were right, everything was working good, my database and the API management, and how to deploy on my own. Project management, just end-to-end cycle, just everything from planning, testing, deploying, and fine-tuning my app. Feature enhancements. This is the first thing I implemented off for my users, right? You log in with an email, but my sponsor didn't want it. So he wanted the app to be very nice and easy, but we can implement this in the future and just data verification and validation through AI. This right here, I've been working the last few weeks on AI agents. So this is on the works. I already talked to my mentor yesterday, and he's on a business trip. As soon as he comes back, we can implement this with features like using Appify through an agent, scrape socials like Facebook or stuff like that. And also we can use like Twilio to send text messages like every couple of months to make sure that, to confirm with the venues, or 11 Labs just to create an AI caller just to call, every couple months, say this event is happening, yes, no. That way we take a human out of the picture. Oh, so I would like to take this time to thank the Holberton team because they helped me rediscover a long lost passion that I thought I lost, which is discovering new things every day. I feel like I need like a little kid, right? I'm not a little kid, as you can see, but I feel like a little kid every day. I feel like I'm on a new adventure. So if you're looking for somebody who's passionate about tech, somebody who's very highly competitive, then I would like to invite you to scan my QR code. This is my LinkedIn profile, or meet me at my booth. And thank you, everybody.
So that was a great app to find your next salsa events. So our next team is Watchly, an app focused on helping watch your website's uptime.
Good morning, everyone. We're very excited to be sharing Watchly with you guys, our real-time website monitoring system. I'm Joel Caban, I'm the backend developer.
And I'm Ricardo Sanchez, I'm the front-end developer.
And together we developed Watchly, our innovative website monitoring system.
Managing websites can be quite challenging when you don't have a DevOps team to help you with that. Imagine that you're a small business owner managing multiple websites, but you don't have a team to help you. That means your website can go down and you don't even notice, leading to downtime means leading to lost revenue, frustrated users, and reputational damage.
Well, that's where Watchly comes in. Watchly is a website monitoring system that tracks your website's uptime and performance 24/7. It sends instant email alerts to your inbox whenever your site actually runs into an issue. And it's actually specifically built for businesses, IT teams, and independent developers.
So let's see what powers Watchly. We went with React because it's fast, scalable, and has reusable components. We chose Tailwind because it keeps our UI clean and also it styles better. And we chose Flash because it's lightweight and I forgot.
And it's also scalable. We ended up going with AP Scheduler. AP Scheduler is like a personal assistant that runs uptime checks on your website every 30 seconds. It's automated, it's real time, and it's asynchronous, so it keeps your websites monitored at all times without affecting the performance. We also chose SendGrid because what good is monitoring if nobody actually lets you know when something goes wrong, right? Well, SendGrid actually ensures that your that high priority emails get to your inbox whenever your website runs into an issue. We decided to deploy Watchly with Cloudflare because Cloudflare offers fast global content delivery. It also offers and ensures low latency for its customers or users whenever they log in from anywhere in the world. Its DDoS protection shields our platform, so Watchly is safe and secure.
One of the key challenges we had with our deployment was managing the backend and the front-end communication. To solve that, we use course rules and JWT authentication to manage their communication between the front end and the back end better.
Another key issue that we ran into was avoiding false alerts. So what we did was we created a function that will ping your website multiple times before actually marking it down as confronting an issue. Another challenge that we faced was how to handle multiple websites. So we ended up using async API calls so that, and we ended up creating an efficient database schema. So now let's watch Watchley in a real life scenario.
Uh, Meet Alex. Alex is a small business owner that handles multiple websites. Everything seemed fine at first until he started losing money and receiving customer complaints. Frustrated and losing money, Alex needed a reliable monitoring tool. That's when he found Watchly.
Well, with Watchly, Alex doesn't have to go chasing website issues. He can just concentrate on running his websites, right? Because the email alerts will always have his back 24/7. Now, the user registration was made quick and easy. We just asked for a first name, last name, email, and password, a secure password. Once you're logged in, you will be prompted to the dashboard where you can see websites monitored, uptime percentage, average response time, and active alerts. You will also be able to see all the websites that you are monitoring at the same time right here in this table. You can log in a website. Once you're logged in with a website, you can adjust the frequency all the way from 10 seconds all the way to an hour. You add the website. The system automatically starts checking for a response time and an uptime from your website right here. A few pings later, the website is already monitored. For this demo, we decided to run with a website that didn't exist so that we could show you how an alert is risen. So we enter a website that doesn't exist. We adjust the frequency. The website already automatically logs it. You get it right here. And a few pings later, an alert is risen right here, automatically prompting an email alert that a high priority email alert that notifies the user that his website is confronting issues, and it also lays out the latest status of the website, the uptime and the response time, and a link so that you can take care of that error or issue right away.
Looking ahead, we are planning to add AI power anomaly detection using machine learning. It will let us detect performance issues before a downtime happens. Also, we're planning to add multi-channel notifications, expanding to text messages, Slack, and mobile push notifications.
We were also thinking about adding an advanced analytics and reports section to the tool where the user can just go to that section, download all the data that the tool is logging for his website, and that way he can analyze it for future endeavors, right? Like for future plans or how to manage his website more efficiently. Watchly is your early warning system for website health. If anybody is interested, we're going to be right on the left side of the back of the room. Feel free to pass by and say hi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe with Watchly, we will never see a down website again. Our next team is BillMap, an app focused on helping you with your bills.
All right, thank you very much for those applauses. We're very excited to present our new app called BillMap, which is an app that will help you map your way to financial freedom. All right, so before we get started, we wanted to go about how we're going to be presenting our app. We will start by introducing our team. tell you a bit about how we got inspired about this application and how the app works, the time it took us to make this application, and the technologies we used to make it. We will be presenting a live demonstration of how this app works for the video, and we'll be concluding with some LinkedIn QR codes. And without any further ado, my name is Carlos Valverde.
My name is Priscila Lopez. We're from cohort 24, and we are gracefully participating in a career development program sponsored by our employer, Banco Popular. Shout out to Popular. So, for the development of BuildMap, we both decided to work as full stack developers. Now, at first, we were thinking and brainstorming different ideas, and we were trying to develop an intrusion detection system. But we quickly realized that we didn't have enough time to complete this project successfully, so we pivoted, and because of our background in the banking industry, we decided to create a product aligned to help users manage their bills.
All right, so before we get down to how the application works, I would like to ask the public a question. And that question being, how well do you know your finances, right? So do you know the exact payment date and the minimum payment for all your liabilities? Probably not. Yes, whoever you are, you're
Some
a machine.
yes or no.
So I personally have about 12 credit cards, and this application works perfect for me. Don't worry, I don't have any debt in any of them. I'm good in that respect. So this app is perfect for users like me because it does help us streamline bill management. It has a visual calendar that helps us for updating, deleting, or tracking our bills. We were able to integrate the Plaid API, which helps with secure account syncing. And it's basically a very centralized and intuitive way to track your bills. So the timeline. This is a trimester program, so it took us about 3 months to make this project. From mid-December to mid-January, that's when we were brainstorming an idea. That's when we first wanted to do the intrusion detection system, but we decided probably better not do it. So we went with the BuildMap app. Then from January to February, we started with the technical documentation. That's when we already had established our architecture for the app, and we were executing it through the minimal viable product. And then from February to March, we were basically completing the minimum viable product. We were able to integrate the Plaid API, and we were polishing some aesthetic details from the front end.
Now, for the technologies used for developing a BuildMap, for the front end, we decided to use React and Nest.js. We chose specifically React because we like the speed, also the component organization structure, and it aligned with our calendar needs, allowing us to have additional features to our calendar. Now, for the backend, we decided to use Python and Flash framework because they were relatively easy to develop using this language. We were able to have more time to add additional features that were not planned or in our original MVP. Now, for the database, because we handle light volume of data, we selected a light database, SQLite, and for the object or relational mapping, we decided to use the SQL Alchemy library. Now for other services, we use the Plaid API services. This is a financial tool that allows users to synchronize their banking data with our app. And for the communication between our API and Plaid, we use a library called Workset.
All right, so we did face a bit of challenges throughout the development of the app, starting with Git. We were Git pushing, Git pulling, and Git merging a little bit crazy, so we were having a bit of conflicts there. So that's when we decided to investigate what methodologies we could use to solve this situation, and that's when we went with Git flow. And right as the presentation is showing, we had 4 branches. We use feature, develop, hotfix, and master, so we can prevent these Git conflicts. And then we had the calendar. So at first we were using the Google Calendar API, and it was not to our liking the way it was syncing with the app. And as Priscila mentioned, that's when we started using React, and React was a great tool. It had a visual calendar that was much to our liking. PyTest. The reason we use PyTest is because our app does take a lot of user input, and we needed to test the user input for edge cases. Before we were doing this manually, so we were literally logging in through Swagger and just making sure it would take all the test cases. But it would be much more efficient if we use PyTest and we would create the test, and that helped us save a lot of time. And finally, the Plaid API. So basically, the Plaid API in itself was a very big challenge. We had not used an API of that size. And just wanted to highlight that for the MVP, for the minimal viable product, we had not included the Plaid API. This would have been an additional feature. And I want to here point out that Priscilla had become very good with the API. She investigated, so thanks to her, we were able to implement it into our app. Now we are going to present a brief demonstration of how our app works.
Okay, so for this page, we are just showing the regular sign up login page. We just ask for first name, last name, and email, and a strong password. Because we require such a strong password, we included the eye icon so the user can check if everything's matching. Now the user that was just created is logging in, and the first page you are going to see is the overview page. Now this user is new, so everything's empty, but you can see in this page the total minimum payments for the month, a graph that takes every month information, and upcoming bills. Now we are going to see the calendar. Again, it's empty because of a new user. We are using a Sandbox Plus, so that's why we have 2020 as the date. Now to connect to the Plaid interface, we are clicking on Connect to Plaid. This is all Plaid interface. Again, this is a sandbox. This may vary depending on the bank that you choose, but this user is selecting Chase Bank and is going to look for a credit card to add to the bill map. Now the user is going to be directed to their login to their banking. This again may vary depending on your bank. This is just a simple authentication to confirm that you're the owner of this information. Again, this is a simple two-step verification simulation. The user is just going to enter a text code. After this authentication is completed, the service is going to take you back to the Plaid interface. Well, sorry, you shows your financial product. This case is the credit card. You go scroll to the bottom, continue. And then you accept the basic terms of the service. And now you go back to Plaid. Now we are going to see that it was a success. You can finish without saving. This is just a sandbox, and you save your Plaid data clicking on Save Plaid Data. Now, if we go to the overview, we're going to see that the information was registered. We refresh quickly the page. Now, the minimum payment for that credit card is $20, and it's an upcoming bill in the 28th of May. In the bill calendar, we are seeing the bill added at the 28th of May.
All right, so we saw how we can integrate payments with Plaid, but let's say that for some reason you were not able to find your bill in Plaid, you can also enter the information manually. So here we're seeing the user enter a Costco credit card, but it can be anything of your liking. It can be Luma, AutoExpreso, maybe you owe the neighbor something, so you can put it here as a reminder. You can put the name, amount due, date, minimum payment, and a description if you would like. Once we save the bill, we're going to go to the overview page, and you'll see that the overview page has been automatically updated with this new information. Likewise, you can see that the bill calendar has been updated, and as a matter of fact, we have a color coding for manually added bills, which is an orange-yellow, and everything else is through the Plaid API. If for some reason the user committed a mistake while entering the information or needs to update the information, you're able to do so through the Edit Manual Bills. Here we see that the user is increasing the amount of the credit card bill, but maybe you can change the name of the credit card bill, or you can change the due date, the minimum payment, and likewise mentioned earlier, you can add a description. In this case, we're gonna add a very detailed descriptor, deuda. So we save the bill, And we'll see again that the overview page has been updated successfully with this new information. And likewise the bill calendar. The app does contain an additional feature. If for some reason the user wants to update his or her information, they're able to do so through this page, first name, last name, and email. And if unfortunately you are not satisfied with our services, you can delete your profile. It is to be noted that this is an irreversible action, so once you do so, you will not be able to log in through your email again. And there is a two-step verification that you need to type in the word delete in all capital letters. And you'll notice that once I try to log in with the correct information, I will not be able to do so because the action was irreversibly done. So that was a brief demonstration of our app.
So if, like Carlos, you have around 12 or more credit cards, you can check out our booth, and maybe we have help you map your way to financial freedom. Here's our link and codes in case you'd like to contact us. And thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you.
So with that being our last presentation, I would like to thank our amazing teams. You can go meet them in the back and watch more of their presentation. I will also be there with my own project. For the people online, the virtual meet and greet will be happening soon, so stay tuned. Anyways, I thank you all for being here. You guys can go.